So playing UH football at UH is an exciting prospect. And I'll just start off with this question, President Lassner. What excites you most about the prospect of on-campus football games?
I'll just say two things. One is we're really excited about the opportunity to re-engage our entire student body and our faculty and staff with an easy opportunity to participate and enjoy UH football. But we're also excited about the many other things we think we can do as we look at the improvements we have to make for football and how we can use them in many other ways to serve students. You know, like having movie nights, using the scoreboard to show movies in the evenings with students gathered on the field and in the bleachers. The second thing I want to say is just I want to give just a world of credit to Athletics Director Matlin and his team. You know, it was really, it was quite a lemon to be told in December that we would not be able to play football with fans at Aloha Stadium for our 2021 season. And they have really worked to turn that lemon into lemonade. And I'm thrilled at the increasing enthusiasm and positivity with which they're approaching an extraordinarily difficult and challenging task.
So I would echo that. I think the visit by the Higher Education and Technology Committee to UH really kind of opened my eyes. And so it was really wonderful to be talking with Athletic Director Matlin. I don't want to waste this precious time with you. So I wanted to ask you, what are some of UH's top priorities for this legislative session?
You know, this is the first time, I believe, in our history we have not asked for money, recognizing the economic condition of the state. We have a number of bills in place. I'll just mention two of the things that some of them are pretty technical in housekeeping. One of them is to remove the sunset on some of the authority that we were given around tech transfer and economic development. We think that's really important now, and two new authorities that we were given expire, and we'd like that sunset date removed. The second one is we're asking for increasing authority over how we develop our campus properties. Some of the things we're trying to do, potentially this football project, and it's an idea that we got from the island of Kauai, actually, around creating a university district land category. And I think that was heard today by Rep. Takayama. What we're really focused on is the priorities for what we think we need to do to move the state forward. And we've identified four of them. I'll just briefly summarize them. And then if you want to ask me questions about each of them. The first is really around educating more of Hawaii's citizenry. The post-secondary education, whether it's an associate degree, bachelor's degree, even an industry certificate, is the most powerful enabler of social and economic mobility that we know, across the country. And especially with the class of high school graduating class of 2020, 2021, they've had a really hard time in high school, and we need to make sure we get them, more adults, more unemployed people, back into post-secondary education so they can succeed. Second priority is to focus on some of the specific workforce area where Hawaii needs help. And I'll just highlight two: teachers, and more teachers. And there are specific shortage areas, but we need to educate more of our own teachers in Hawaii with people who are from Hawaii and from the communities where they'll serve. The second area I'll mention is healthcare and social welfare. We need to address those shortages: doctors, nurses, allied health professions, social workers, psychologists. We're looking at physical therapists. We need more of those people to help keep our aging population, like my gray hair, healthy as we age. The third of four areas is work on new economic sectors, and we've identified a few of them. We think our responsibility is to help kickstart some of those with the intellect of our faculty and staff, and at the same time educate students for good jobs in these areas. Those would be computer science and engineering, creative media industries. We've got an exciting new building just opened at West Oahu. climate change, energy, disaster resilience, conservation. These are high quality green jobs where Hawaii has incredible expertise. We need to take care of ourselves, and these can also be export expertise. Food, agriculture, aquaculture, these are important both for food sustainability, but also as export crops, and a new form of sustainable tourism that creates more high quality jobs that engage tourists with the people of Hawaii. The last of the four areas is our own research enterprise. Last year, the University of Hawaii brought in over $450 million in extramural funding. That's actually bigger than our agriculture sector in this state today. So it itself is an important sector, and we need to continue to do well in our areas of strength. The obvious one, ocean, earth, and atmospheric science. Yes, astronomy is one of our powerhouses. Our study of Asia and the Pacific, climate change, the areas I mentioned. But we also have identified the areas where we think we can bring in more money. That $450 million is already growing, and we think we can do better in health sciences, agriculture, aquaculture, and we think the Pacific itself is an area of investment for the United States. So as we do that, we also want to increase the community impacts, startups, and jobs, which is where those bills will come in helpful.
So what I've heard from your priorities, and actually what really resonates with me, is how the university can be a good pathway for living wage jobs when we talk about and meet the needs of our community. So it's really a good pathway.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How do the community colleges fit into all of this? You touched upon it a little bit, but sometimes we forget UH is a system with community colleges.
The community colleges are amazing. So they do a few things. One is they're open door. So anyone can go in and enter a community college. They will meet you where you are and try to take you where you want to be. They provide a great liberal arts education, and that can provide a transfer pathway into a four-year degree for those who want it. And they provide some amazing specific technical and vocational training. Now we use the term career and technical education. So specific training, degrees, and certificates for, as you said, living wage jobs. So they're a critical part of our community, and they actively engage with our Hawaii P20 Partners for Education program, and they're really the front line of the work we're doing to reach the really challenged high school classes of 2020 and 2021.
So I have you here, and before I bring on Representative Takayama, I'd like to ask you, when does university expect to have students back on campus full time, given this pandemic?
Well, we're not taking for granted that the social distancing requirements will be gone by fall 2021. We are planning to continue with a mix of online, but we hope to have all of our classrooms utilized in fall 2021. We hope to have all of our faculty and staff vaccinated, and hopefully most of our students will be vaccinated, if not at home here in Hawaii, where they come from, but if not, we'll try to be working to find a way to pick up. But we expect to have a healthy mix of both online and in-person education in the fall. If the social distancing guidelines are removed, then we can be even more dense on campus, but we don't want to presume that right now.
I think public health and public safety is most important. And our college kids are probably doing a little bit better at distance learning than our younger kids.
And I'll say our faculty as well. I can't say enough about the transition our faculty made first last spring and then this fall continuing into this academic year. They've been amazing. Our staff have been great at supporting them as well. And our students have been really resilient. Our enrollment is actually up at UH Manoa. So students are embracing this, and we had a pretty robust distance and online learning program already. So we were a little better equipped, I think, to make the fast pivot. We had to invest in technology upgrades, but we weren't starting a whole lot of new technology. We just had to upgrade it, and fortunately, we were able to use our CARES money to do so.
So I'd like to bring on Chair Gregg Takayama now, so that we can have a little bit of interchange between President Lassner and Chair.
Aloha, Chair. Good to see you again.
Good afternoon, Della, and good afternoon, President Lassner. Nice to be here.
So I'm really excited. Chair Takayama, did you want to ask a question of President Lassner or comment on anything that he might have said while you were listening?
Well, yeah, you've had a great discussion, and just to add to my recognition that President Lassner has a tough job. I mean, we're talking about a university system that is responsible for educating 50,000 students across 10 campuses spread across our Hawaiian Islands. And you've managed to do that with combining in-person classes and research labs with online instruction. And that's perhaps a model for our K through 12 DOE to follow. But you've been able to do it without problems in terms of coronavirus infections, and managed to do it by working closely with the students and faculty and staff. So my credit goes to President Lassner for managing to do this.
Well, it's an amazing team, and it's not just one person. I'll just say our ability to manage COVID-19. We've had. I look at the numbers. We're very transparent. We've had about when I looked earlier this week, we had 85 cases since April across all 10 campuses. We're pretty proud of that. People in our student residence halls, we made the decision early on to keep our residence halls open because some of our students had nowhere to go home to that would have been safer. And we took on those risks knowingly. And that team has also done a remarkable job in keeping the students safe with quarantining practices, helping with contact tracing and so forth. It's, I'm really proud of what everyone here has done. It takes a village, as they say.
Well, now your next challenge and your village's challenge will be to manage to maintain your instructional load while also managing $75 million in budget cuts, which is what the governor has asked of the UH and your $500 million annual budget. So
we're hopeful that the legislature will treat us a little bit more kindly than that governor's budget. And I know he's already revising his financial plan as well. So we will look to see what he presents to you, based on the improvements in the Council on Revenues projections, as well as, we got the second stimulus bill through, which was not in place when he did his first financial plan. And now it looks like there will be a third stimulus bill. All of those things can help both the state and the university.
Well, I do have to
So
credit the UH. Oh, go ahead. I was going to say I didn't credit the UH for already beginning the process of working with students and faculty and deans on looking for ways to reduce costs, and at the same time maybe strengthening the university. For example, your Asian language program, you have 12 instructors in Japanese, 1 instructor in Chinese, but the student demand is the opposite, right? Because of the recent years' interest in China. So I think this process allows you to maybe adjust and strengthen the university.
That's right. We started this as both a budget cutting exercise and a strengthening exercise. And I should say, we're not expecting a cut of 0, but we're hoping it is, somewhere between 0, which was the Board of Regents request, and the governor's initial reduction.
Right.
Well, David, I want to thank you for joining us here today. I really, really enjoyed speaking with you about UH. As always, UH plays such a large role in our communities, and it's certainly going to be part of our legislative process this year. I wish you all the best for the duration of the spring semester. I wish all the best for the students and for their health and well-being. And we will continue our conversations with you, David.